Been a while since I've uploaded. This is kind of what happens when you say you're going to work on something for a couple of days and then that couple of days turns into new furniture. Yeah, I decided to reorganize a few things and make things just look a bit better for my daily day-to-day life, and yeah, it turned into new furniture. And there's still tons of stuff in boxes, and it's still a mess. But I've not done anything. Well, I've not uploaded something for a few days, so I figured why not. And the other day when I was watching a live stream, the idea popped into my head: why not use one of those tier list generators and that to do a tier list with Kamen Rider, but instead of me actually tiering riders, I'm tiering how they are implemented in the mod. So I can still kind of talk about things that I want to implement, as well as discuss things I like and dislike about some of the things that are currently in. So as you can see, I've just dropped in all of the logos from the mod. Um, I believe Go Riders, one of the very few that don't have a logo, but Go Riders is just like, yeah, it's not implemented. I just realised I left my door open. So let's go through this. Should explain the tiering. It's S. I actually really like the way it's implemented. Yes, there'll be probably something I want to add into the future to that series, but it's good. D is I really want to implement some new stuff and completely change the way things have been obtained. And still, or is those series that have not been updated past the or. Now, some series, which I'm gonna do one now, if I can spot it. There you are, Cougar. I'm actually gonna put Cougar around the B. Now, what did I just say? We have one that's still or. Any series that relies on or, as in or is the entirety of the series where it's just mine. Those are the series I'm counting as just as still or. Cougar, you mine stuff, yes, but there is a lot more crafting as well as using the things you get. It's not just a mine until it drops an ultimate. You've actually got to kind of progress through it. So that's what I mean by still or is the ones that you don't need to progress through. You just need to keep on mining, which Ryuki's one of them. Who else is still or? Hmm. Blade is still or. Kiva. Kiva's still or. Ghost is still or. Hibiki is still or. Feeling there's a few more. So yeah, all of those I want to completely change. But either way, I moved Cougar, didn't I? Cougar's not going any higher because I honestly think I like the way Cougar's going at the moment. The fact it still has all works with Cougar. For those that don't know, Cougar's kind of got this archaeology and digging up vibe to how the powers were obtained. These are ancient powers that were dug up, as well as there's a lot of things connected into it. But since I did Cougar, Minecraft has added archaeology into the game, and I really want to somehow link that into Cougar, be it how you get the rising forms, or link it into is it Goram, the beetle thing that fuses with the bike. I kind of want to link all them in together. So there's a lot that I want to do, but overall I'm somewhat happy. It is a bit grindy, but I'm somewhat happy. That's why I put it in B. Um, one I'm trying to think here. Gotchard. Gotchard doesn't use or, but it's a D. You can only get two cards, and they're from the what's it called? Christmas gift, and you can't craft any of the armor with that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Better than ore, but that's just because it doesn't rely on ore. Um, Drive is not finished. Drive is really not finished, but I really like what is in so far, so I'm gonna put Drive at a B. I still got to do a lot there. I've still got to really do a lot for Drive. Uh, just off the top of my head, Comrade Heart isn't obtainable. Uh, Gold Drive or Gold Drive, if you want to go off the misspelling that was on the was it the Gold Driver? Gord? Gord. I mean, I'm terrible at spelling, but Gord. um, that's gonna be still obtainable. That Lupin is still gonna be obtainable. Brain is still gonna be obtainable. Dark Drive is still gonna be obtainable. So there's quite a lot that's still left to be done. I want to do a whole bunch more mobs, a couple more bosses, and I want a big boss. I want to make a possibly Gold Drive, as well as the Paradox Roymude, as two kind of somewhat biggish bosses that you've got to fight, as well as I do want to implement Mega Hex for obtaining Lupin, as well as Mega Hex will have the kind of link in with what's with Gaim. Talking about Gaim, I'm gonna put Gaim in A. I really like the way Gaim is at the moment. There's two big problems with it. Number one, the overlords. The overlords are pretty bad. To be honest, the textures need updating, as well as the fights are just stupid. So yeah, they need changing. Other than that, I love the way Helheim looks. I love the progression for the armor. Yes, some of the drops with the overlords, things like the King Dorian, uh, Yomatsuhigiri, gold and silver. Some of that doesn't quite make sense, but I don't want to overcomplicate it with too many bosses because it would just. Some of the other series will just feel worse if I do that. So, moving on, I really want to put something in S. I really want to put something in S just because it's sitting empty, and I'm gonna put Wizard there because the only thing that Wizard is missing, in my opinion, is the bikes and possibly I want to add Chimera as a rideable mob thing, but that's not something wrong with how things are obtained. It's just something I want to add at some point. You know what I mean? It's not something that's needed, but it was something I would like. So Wizard is going into S. So I'm really not doing this in any particular order. It's just the next one I think of. Talking about that, I just saw the Deno logo. Deno's going into A. The Sands of Time looks amazing. Trains look amazing. The Imagine look great. The mole Imagines being everywhere. I absolutely love it. The series just doesn't have a good flow. All you do is get a rider pass and a form that flies, and then just fly everywhere. And I feel like it's a great start, but I feel like it's missing something. I know it sounds stupid, but I feel like it's missing something. Uh, Other than that, let's move on to G. Actually, no, wait. I was just about to say G's not obtainable. G is obtainable. You've got to go and get the bottle from a villager. I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind that. Where's it going, though? Because here's the thing with G. G has, like, no content. So it doesn't really matter if it's the progression or everything's there, because the series has no progression. It's just a do you have it or not. So I'm gonna put it in A because it works, but I might want to change it at some point. I don't know. So A is good enough. Geets. Talking about A, Geets is going to A and Revice is going to A. I love the way that this series. Actually, you know what? They're going to B. I just saw Drive in B. I put Drive in B, so those two are probably going to be best in there. Their final forms aren't obtainable. There's a whole bunch of items just not obtainable yet for them. I like the series. I like the flow of the series. They are just missing a lot. They are incomplete. I mean, Drive is more complete. So even though I love the way the armor works, love the obtaining of the lower end stuff with Geats, Revice not as much. You know what? I'm going to put Revice in C because it needs a structure. It really needs a structure. But they're both so similar in the latter half of the series is just not obtainable yet. So, ways that I could implement these. I've considered adding a goddess statue for Geats, and that would somehow link to getting a Boost Mark 3, as well as I've considered adding a GIF. Is it a GIF statue or a GIF tomb or something? I don't know what I would call it. Which would be how you obtain the GIF eyes and potentially summon GIF for a fight. I really hope it is GIF. Really hope it. You know what? I'm going to call it a GIF. It's GIF. We need to go and fight GIF. um. So yeah, both of them need a bit more work. I do like the way some things are with it. I mean, to be honest, Revice some of the mid season stuff is a bit weird and confusing, which I might want to change, but it's there. Um, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? I'm seeing a lot of Showa stuff, so I think I need to sort out some of this, and I'm gonna put the actual original Ichigo into first. I want to give it a structure at some point, but that's less of a problem with Ichigo and more of a we use rider circuits for pretty much everything, so it would be nice to make rider circuits a bit more grindable, a bit more easy to farm. So I'm putting that in S just because the series itself I think is well implemented. Um oh, what else? What else? Oh, another thing. Yeah, okay. Well, where am I putting Agito? Where am I putting Agito? I like the way Agito is implemented, but it's got a feature I want to do, and to be honest, I'm going to put it ahead of Kuga just because it has the structure. But without the structure, they're in very similar waters. Then again, Kuga has the ore. Kuga has the ore. Agito hasn't got the ore, but Agito has the structure. Now, the main reason I put these two together is the main thing I want to do to both of the series is the mobs. Whilst setting up the elementary invis for Gaim, Axo set it up so we could have 3 variants. We use the same code for Drive, with the Roymute, so we could have the Bat, Spider, and Cobra Roymutes, just as they kind of foot soldiers. But both of those series had foot soldiers. So we did it to implement the free variants of the foot soldiers. But Huga and Agito don't have foot soldiers. So what we did instead is we implemented the first mob, the first kind of enemies that the mob, the riders faced, kind of thing. I believe it was the tiger, not tiger, the leopard. I can't remember any of the names. Please forgive me. I believe it was the leopard for Agito, which I can't remember if it was Agito or G3 that beat that enemy, because there were a few repaints of the same enemy. And then there was a weird fish thing that Gills took out, which is the mob that drops the stuff for Gills. But now that we have the ability to add variants, I would kind of want to make up for the fact that we didn't add. Oh, and it was the spider thing for Cougar. They don't have foot soldiers, so I kind of want to make up for it by adding a few more of the Grongi and what was the enemies from Agito called? I can't remember. I want to add a few more of them as variants to the mob. So it is still the same mob, it's just it could spawn with a few different appearances, and we would just rename the mob to Grongi or whatever they it's annoying me that I can't remember the name of the enemies from Agito. I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, so I want to add to them to make up. Yeah, I think I've explained that enough. So, on to the next ones, because this video's I just saw how long this video is. I'm sorry. Who's next? O's. I don't know if I want to put O's in B or O's in C, because I feel like I'm putting a lot of stuff in B. But O's has a real issue. I'm going to put it in B, because I don't think I dislike it enough to put it in C. But it has an issue, so I'm putting it at the end of B. The issue with O's is it's a lot of grinding, a lot of waiting for a certain mob boss to spawn, and it's a bit confusing. I don't necessarily know how I'm going to fix it or sort it up. The greed effect is amazing, and I absolutely love it, but it needs something. And if you have a suggestion on what that something could be, please let me know in the comments section. Moving on. 01. 01's in S. I mean, I could make the argument some of the Never stuff needs to be changed. I just really like the way 01 is set up, so 01 is into S. I'm looking at all these shows here. Fies goes into C, and Kabuto is going to go into C. They both have the same problem. They're both Never. The Never is just not fun. I want to keep them in the Never, but if I'm keeping them in the Never, I need to do something else with them. And I don't know what that is. That is one of the main problem with a lot of these. When testing the mod, I find a series and I'm like, I don't like this. It's taking too long. The flow doesn't feel right. I don't know how to fix it. Both of these have the same problem with them being in the Never. Kabuto has the advantage of having a structure in the Never. So, Ashley, I'm going to put it over. Actually, I'm going to put them both in front of Revice. Just because everything is obtainable for them. Except from a few of the unused Five stuff, as well as the You know what? No, no, no. It's more obtainable than reverse. It needs work. They both need work. They both have the same issues. Um, as I said, stuff that I want to add for Fies is the Fies next stuff. The stuff I want to add, but the flow doesn't feel right for them, unfortunately. Gav. I feel bad putting Gav so high, considering most of the stuff is not obtainable yet, as well as it's so early on. I absolutely love the way Gav is set up. You make the blanks, you eat the food, and if you didn't know, I set up the food on a tag system. So if the any food has the correct tag, it will give you the chance to get got cheese no. Because of this, it is so easy to make data packs to allow food from different mods into it. And Chair recently made, I think it was Chair, a whole bunch of data packs which adds a whole bunch of the common food mods into Gav. So it just works with Gav. I've not experimented with them yet. I've not looked into them yet. I want to mess around with them. Because of that, I absolutely love the way Gav is set up currently. Moving on. I'm going to put Decade and the O in D just because they're not set up to be obtainable. They somewhat are obtainable, but it's not fleshed out. It's the bare basic ideas. So actually, I'm going to put them ahead of Godchild. The bare basic ideas of how to make things obtainable, they're just not quite there. So yeah, they're both the exact same. Funny enough, because they're both Legend series, they both fall into the trap that we need them, everything else obtainable and set up. Because of this, I never properly set these two up. It's unfortunate. There's a lot of Showa here, so I think I'm gonna have to get rid of some Showa. I feel bad putting Amazon up here. Oh, there isn't a logo for Amazons. I'm going to include Amazons in with Amazon. I like the fact that the red follower can drop the clear drill switch, even though we all forgot to add the code to actually allow it to do it. It will do it in the next update, if I remember. I like that. So any time I can add a cross-link compatibility kind of thing with series, I'm happy, and it linking into Forza, I am happy. I like how it links from this into Amazon's. I generally like it. Amazon's is also a really somewhat easy series to get. There is a lot of flow. There is a lot of getting stuff. The forms aren't very good. They're not very powerful, but they are somewhat easy to farm. I mean, I think once you've got all the stuff set up, all you need to do is get one of the Amazon wheel, Condor wheel thing, and you can make an entire new set of armor. So Amazon's I like, and Amazon is great. So I'm putting them in S. You might disagree, but I'm putting it there. And my headphones just turned off. Might as well take them off. Okay. Actually, no. I don't like the voice. I don't like my voice. I'll put my headphones back on. My voice just sounded wrong when I could actually hear myself. Oh no. Okay, build. Build's going into B. There is build's going into B. The Pandora Tower has a lot of issues. The fact that you could just find that, farm that, and then not need to bother with anything from build because you have a old black hole. I don't like that. I just simply do not like that. Not to mention the fact that Genius relies you on taking out a full potential build, which just means just find the right area. A full potential build will spawn eventually. Then just surround that rider circuits. You can very easily get that before any of the really more complicated forms for build, and I don't like that. I don't know if I want to link in you needing a hazard trigger, the full rabbit tank bottle thing, and sparkling in the Genius recipe or something, but I don't like the way Genius is set up, unfortunately. So build is going there. It's got issues, but I don't know. It's somewhat nice. There are a lot of people that like the way that it's set up. I don't. Sorry. Someone might be asking about that and be like, um, um, sort of logo space. It's quite nice. Not quite implemented in the new version yet, but it's quite nice. Everything's obtainable. Why, why is it in C? The reason is I honestly feel it's a bit complicated. Bit too many bosses, too many mobs, too many things. I want to slimline it a bit. I don't know when to make the cuts. It's just too complicated in my opinion. And I probably should have put it in B, but B is getting a bit too full at this point, so into C. Talking about another C, Forze. Forze has the same problem with Deno, where essentially all you do is craft the stuff to get to that place, then fly around and grab for the resources, and then job done. Yeah, the moon looks nice. Yeah, the structures look nice. But all you do is fly around and then job done. And I just think that's a bit boring. Others might disagree. I just think it's a bit boring. So yeah, that's why Forze's in C. It needs work. It really needs work. Xaid. Xaid. Xaid's going in. I like it all. The bug. Yeah, the bug effect. I like it. The energy items, I like it. I like how things are crafted. Getting started with bugsters is a bit difficult, so I think I'm going to have to re-implement one of the structures I've removed. Don't know which one it's going to be. Probably the mighty area. But the mighty areas are going to be a bit weird. Because I repurposed all the blocks. I don't know. I feel like Xaid needs a structure back. Oh, double. Double goes into S. Yes, double's a bit of a pain with needing the gold and the iron and then diamonds if you want the T2s but don't want to grind the mobs. It can be annoying. I like the way it's set up. I like the flow. I really like the fact that you need to fall more than 10 blocks to turn what's it called? Extreme into gold extreme. Cyclo Joker Gold Extreme. I really like that. So yeah. Only things I want to add there is I want to add a whole bunch of little gimmicky things, as well as I do want to add I want to add something for Futopia. I don't quite know what. It's got no real representation yet. I mean, it's got a few forms that haven't appeared in the anime, or could be labeled spoilers, so I'm not going to make it. I'm not. So, either way, moving on. These all Showa now. These are all Showa. I'm pretty sure. So, this is going to be interesting to see if I can remember who's who. Okay, Zikros. Zikros goes into C, and the reason it's in C and not in Haya is Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu, and Susanoo, I think is the last one. The Kamen Rider Spirits forms are not obtainable yet. Yeah, that's literally the only reason it's in C and not in higher. Because a lot of these should be the same and should be like up here-ish. Actually, I can do a few of them now. V3 I'm going to put into S just because I really like the fact that I'm going to put this up here. I think this is Super 1. I think this is Super 1. And I'm going to put Stronger up there as well, because all of these are kind of linked. There's an item that you obtain for Super 1, which is the lower half of the mask, which works with both Riderman and Tackle. I absolutely love it. Another thing they've got going for it, V3 has the Card Warrior Kamen Rider form, the Flame Salamander, which I absolutely love. These three series also have the Dark Riders from the Pachinko game. Absolutely love them. Yep. Movie. Oh. I put this up here because of Riderman, and Riderman's in separate. Okay. Either way, I'm still sticking with that. Okay, who's next? I've got to remember who's who. Black and Black RX. This is the Black. This is Black RX, and just imagine Black Sun's here as well. The only things I really want to add to them is bikes, Rideron, as well as the Mantis pseudo rider, not quite a rider, but is a rider thing from Black Sun. Those are like the only little things I want to add. For the most part, I'm actually going to move Black RX down, just because there is some weirdness going on with Black RX, if I remember right. But other than that, I think I'm happy with that. Shin Jaezo. I think this is Shin. I'm going to put these three in here together. Just because I do like the way they work. Actually, where did I put G? I put G on the one above. So I'll put them there just because G's there and they're obtained in the same way. I'm struggling to remember who this is. Skyrider! Okay. I'm going to just put these two here because it's a nice easy slot, and I don't really have any opinions on them. I put X above Skyrider because it has the dark form. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to think. Is there anything here I want to change? I mean, for the most part, the show stuff is all pretty much the same. Not really anything amazing. Not really anything unique. I think this will do. I think this will do. I mean, to be honest, I could just put all the show stuff on a lower tier, and I would be happy. But I don't want things to be too long. So yeah, tell me what you think. Do you agree with this? And some of the ones that are lower down on the list here. Suggest some things I could do. Because feedback is always appreciated on these things. And let me know if you actually enjoyed this video. I know I kind of went on and rambled quite a lot, so I guess hit like. I don't know. Till next time. Goodbye.